The UN Secretary-General António Guterres says there are nearly 1.3 billion persons with disabilities worldwide. He is calling on the world to work with persons with disabilities to design and deliver solutions based on equal rights in every country. For more insight, VOA's Ndiho spoke to Racheal Inegbedion, a founder of the Initiative for National Growth Africa and the executive producer of a new documentary, Breaking Boundaries, Empowering Abilities into the Nigerian and Malawi Workforce.
I'm actually not a person with disability, but I understand that disability issues are very important so that we could help support their dignity, help support their rights, and help support their well-being. And as a founder of a non-profit organization in Nigeria known as the Special Needs Initiative for Growth, one thing that I have seen over the years is how people with disabilities have been deprived or limited or restricted from their basic rights and gaining access to political, social, economic, and even cultural life. And that is one of the reasons why we are celebrating the International Day of Persons with Disabilities today. And that is one of the reasons why last year I and my team decided to sit down and collaborate with another organization in the US, whereby we did a project funded by the Department of State and the Mandela Washington Fellowship to produce our first film known as Inclusion Works.
I've had the privilege of watching that film, very powerful. You talked to a lot of people across the continent. At the onset, you talked about how you are not a person with disabilities, but what got you into this? Why put a special focus on trying to highlight this major problem across the continent?
It started from when I was really young, and it's really a personal story to me, but I'm happy to share this with the world because it should be able to inspire someone out there to take up an action and use this action to make a social change. For people who are non-disabled, employment is a big deal. Not to talk of those who are actually disabled, who are actually labeled because of their certain physical or intellectual disability. And that's basically one of the reasons why my team and I decided to produce this film. Before the filming, one of the things we considered is who are this potential market for employment? These are youths with disabilities. These are people who are able-bodied, or employers feel that they are able-bodied. So we're like, okay, we need to get youths with disabilities. And we looked across our other partner, Salama Africa in Malawi. So we decided to also feature persons with disabilities in the refugee camp in Malawi. And together, these voices, these protagonists, were able to share their lived experiences of the barriers to gaining access to jobs. Because whether you like it or not, we also have in the business, you have a market for customers with disabilities. So if you hire people with disabilities, they can provide you more additional insight on how to help provide a larger market for customers with disabilities. So it's something that we should take seriously. So, for example, in my country, there's a legislature that says, which is called the Discrimination Against Persons with Disabilities Prohibition Act. That legislation entitles every employer of labor in Nigeria to hire at least 5% of persons with disabilities into public organizations. And the same thing goes with the Malawi government as well. But in reality, is that what it is? And that's basically why we decided to have this film, because we want to sensitize employers of labor to see reasons of hiring persons with disabilities.
That was Racheal Inegbedion, founder of Initiative for National Growth Africa, speaking to VOA's Ndiho.